Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today's video, I love this. This is such a powerful understanding and it will transform a lot of things in your life. There's nothing being taken away. This is going to be hard to understand when you look out at your life and see things missing or see things that we want that are not there, or seeing things that were once there that are no longer there. There's this consistent perspective that things, or insistence, right? Insistence that things are not the way they should be. They should be different, that this moment should be different. I should have more money. I should have a better place. I should have a healthier body. I should have a better relationship, or whatever it is. I should be successful. Somehow there's this idea that things are, or an insistence, once again, insistence that things should be different than they are. This keeps us consistently looking at what we would call what's missing. Now, it's interesting, if you take something, let's say, this cup, and you're in the moment right now, what would be missing in it? It would just be the cup, and it would just be what it is. I want to try to convince us and help us understand that in order to see something missing of this, wouldn't I have to have something to compare it to? And where would that comparison be? It would have to be in a past. Does that make sense? The idea of comparing your now to a past, but the past doesn't exist. Where is it at? You can't find it. They say that, or you've probably heard that there's no problems in the moment, and there's no pain in the moment. There's only movement and flow in the moment. It's hard to see that, but when we understand that we are consistently superimposing, so to speak, the past on top of our life, of course there's going to be things missing, because now there's two, and those two don't agree. Does everybody get that? We tend to think that we have to hold on to the past and what's missing in order to create a new future to fill it up. But in reality, instead of holding an empty cup and allowing the future to come in, you're holding a full cup of the past, and therefore nothing can come in. So let's talk about how the universe sees this. Well, the universe doesn't see the past. It just sees now. So let's say the inner being, that bigger part of us, sees right now, sees a cup, and it says, okay, this is what I see. It doesn't see the superimposing of another cup, so to speak, that we're comparing it to. But it does see what wants to come in. So your inner being will always see what wants to flow in and what's there. And they will match perfectly. It'll say, no problem, this can go right in there. But it will never see what we are comparing it to. Therefore, our perspective will see something missing in it because we're comparing it to the past, therefore making something missing here. And our inner being will always see what wants to flow in because it sees these two. Make sense? We see these two, it sees these two. And guess what? We're not going to match. Because as it takes the future and moves it into the now, they flow together perfectly because there's nothing missing right now. They work together perfectly. I have $10 in my bank account. It says, okay, and here's 50,000, and they work perfectly. 50,000, now I have 50,000 plus 10. You follow? If I'm feeling unhealthy a little bit in my body, no worries, I have health. Health flows right in, takes care of the unhealthiness, so to speak. Perfect flow. Just like a seed in the ground will become a tree. Makes sense. But if I have $10 in my bank account and I should have 500 or 1,000 and I superimpose that, I create negativity. Why do I have this? I shouldn't have this $5. Now our focus goes here, and guess what? This can't come in because this is superimposed on it. If I have unhealthiness in my body and I used to be healthy and I compare the two, oh, why am I unhealthy? I can't believe this. This hurts. This shouldn't be here. The insistence, and therefore the health can't flow in. I'm too preoccupied with the idea of why, where, and what if, and so forth and so on, that now that other part cannot come in. Is everybody getting that a little bit? Our focus on what's missing. Now, this is the kicker. Remember, the inner being's perspective doesn't see what's missing. It just sees what is and says, hey, I hold on to the expansive part of this. In other words, the natural state of this is to become more, right? So I hold on to a bigger part, and I'm going to give it to you so it can become more. So it doesn't ever see what's missing. It can't. There's only now. What could possibly be missing? Here's a shirt, there's this, you see? This hair is here. What's missing? There's nothing missing. The universe cannot see negative, negate, missing without a past. Starting to get this, huh? Makes sense? Because this is the key to it all. As long as we hold on to the past and superimpose it on our now, we're going to consistently be walking around comparing two different things, aren't we? And therefore, this is going to cause missing here over and over and over. And now our focus is going to go there, and we're never going to receive what our inner being has. What the universe wants to flow in from our experience. It's going to slow everything down until our focus lets go, and then it'll give us a little bit. And then we're going to cause resistance. Insistence equals resistance. As Bashar would say, insistence equals resistance. Insistence of what? Insistence that things should be different. Insistence that things should be different. And the only reason we insist things should be different is because we're looking at the past and comparing it. Makes sense? So now, the universe doesn't see negative. We talked about that. It doesn't see what's missing. How can it see what's missing? You have to kind of think about this and see this. It's so silly what we have created in this world, this idea of nothing, or an idea of something that's not there. How can something not be there? It's the silliest thing when you really understand this. And guess what? It is the essence of all negativity. I can assure you, I swear to you, when you look at your body and it hurts or you don't like it, it's not that you don't like it or it hurts. It's that you are comparing it to what it used to be or what you want it to be, which usually is what it used to be. It's the comparison that's causing it, not the now. How could you see anything wrong if it was just now? There it is. It just is. There's nothing to compare it to. You see, everything would be beautiful. Everything would be good. Right? In order for something to be bad, it doesn't have to be compared to something good. Once you see this, you will break through the cycle. This idea that we have created a world that literally can do something that is impossible. It can see something missing in something. How can there be something missing? And once you let go of missing, I'm not lying to you, you've got it. Because now you only see what's there. The only thing that crucifies us, the only thing that stops the flow of energy, the only thing that causes all the suffering, pain, and so forth and so on, is consistently looking out of the world and insisting it should be different because we're holding on to something else and comparing it to it on a regular basis. Whereas the inner being part of us, the bigger part of us that holds everything we want, just doesn't understand why a tree or a seedling is looking back at its seed and not allowing it to grow into a tree. It wants to give us everything we want to grow, but we're too busy looking back and stopping our own growth. Maybe, could've, should've, can't, won't, don't. These are all negate. They would not exist unless there was something to compare them to. All these negative things. And I want you to think about this. What are you saying? What are you thinking on a regular basis that has a feeling of something missing in your life? Now, the universe or energy only sees what's there. So let's take it this. If you have $500 in your bank account and you want $5,000, well, now you're $4,500 short, right? And you say, I'm missing $4,500. Since the universe doesn't understand missing, you have two parts. $4,500 you want, $500 you have. Everybody get that? There's the two. Guess which ones it's focused on. If you say, I'm missing $4,500, the universe only understands what's there. Guess what is there? 500. So guess what it's going to focus on? 500. And therefore it's going to continue to keep you stuck right here. It's never going to allow you to have the 4,500 you want, because it takes the other part and makes it bigger. Now 500 becomes what it is. It won't get bigger. It can't get bigger. Does that make sense? Hopefully, kind of, sort of. You see? If we take the body and let's say my right shoulder is hurting, so I focus on it and I say, it's missing. I don't like it. It's missing health. Look at this shoulder. It's feeling great. Why can't it be like that shoulder? Now you have two, one that flows and one that doesn't. We're focused on this one. Since it doesn't understand it's missing health or missing what this shoulder has, then you focus on this shoulder and you say, I want this shoulder exactly as it is. And therefore you get more of the same. Now the reason you're in pain is simply because as you focus on that, you're not allowing the health and flow of your inner being in. So therefore you're pulling yourself apart, not allowing the expansion of your soul. Since we're not allowing the expansion of our soul, we're going to feel pain. That's what pain is. All pain and suffering is just simply not allowing the expansion of who you are. As Abraham says, you must expand. You must become more, because we are becoming more. And if we become so more and you don't, man, there's a gap in between those two parts of you, and it's not going to feel good. You did not come here to hold yourself back from your expansion by focusing on something that never existed in the first place, which is lack or loss, something that's not there. Which the only way we can focus on something missing is to compare it to some place that doesn't exist. Woo! Sit with this. Don't take my word for it. Go look for it into your life. Where are you comparing the past to your now? And therefore making your now feel not good. Therefore stopping yourself from in this moment finding magic and flow, like we talked about, just finding goodness, finding flow, finding with the past gone. There's a saying that Yeshua talks about in the Course in Miracles. He goes, you guys would not believe what the world looks like without the past on it. He goes, you wouldn't even be able to fathom it. As a matter of fact, that's all the Course in Miracles is to get back into the holy instant. Abraham calls it, the receiving mode. Bashar says, following your excitement, letting go of the past and being in the real, true present moment and just giving it life as your inner being is, and then just, getting it flowing and get that momentum flowing. The only thing that stops it is lack and loss. And the only reason it exists is because of the past. Am I correct? How can you have lack and loss in one moment? Could you? It would be impossible. The comparison between the two is the only thing that's causing the issue. Same thing with everything in your life. That's why Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of the now. You see, getting into the now moment, getting into the present moment where everything is as it is. Now what? It is as it is. Here it is. This is. There's nothing to compare it to. Ooh, I like the red. Oh, I love the feeling of the circularity. Oh, and this font, really fun. And I like, you see, and now you create based on what's there. You look at it and you create it and give it meaning, give it flow, give it joy based on what you want, based on the permanency of all that is. Not take it away by comparing it. Well, the other shirt had this, and I like the better color. The blue would be better than the red. And now we're pushing against each other. Well, one's red, the other one's blue. Do you see? And now we're comparing it, and now we're doing something that is impossible inner being will never see. It's just now. Make sense? Take this with you. As always, it is up to you what you receive. And if it speaks to you, hit the like button and continue to subscribe. And as always, I love your comments, guys. Thank you so much for following along. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation.